Hey guys, today's video is going to be a lot of fun. I've put a lot of thought into this. It's one request that we hear a lot of is how do I do newborn photography at home? What if I can't afford a professional photographer? Or what if I'm just starting out? Because these same tips can help new starting out photographers that don't want to invest thousands of dollars on props. So 5 things. We're gonna look at 5 things today. The first thing we're gonna look for is lighting. So this is a client's home. We've walked into this beautiful home. It's very empty. Our clients don't have a lot of furniture. The first thing I do when I walk into a client's home, if I'm shooting in their home, is look for the lighting. So if we kind of look at the floor, I'm gonna move this rug out of the way. We're gonna look at the floor for our lightest spots. In the middle of the day, and we're grateful for Utah weather, today we have no light. But I wanted to show you the difference between the 2 light sources. You don't want to necessarily shoot with direct lighting coming from a sun shining through the window because that's too much light. Today, however, we're getting snow. So in that case, if you've got direct light coming from an open window, you're going to want to look for some sort of curtain in a window that maybe is giving you a little more diffuse light. If your client doesn't have curtains, you can even just take a sheet off of a bed and tape it up to the windows just so you have some sort of sheet, light filtering type of a sheet giving you a little bit softer lighting. But I look at the floor because that's where we're going to be putting the baby in the bucket or on a posing pad. And my best light is right here, ironically, in the open window I told you just not to shoot in. But on an overcast day, this window is going to be too dark. So we want to shoot from this window. So we're going to put the baby right here. This is our posing area. It's got our most light. It's our softest light. The angle that we're going to look for, because we're assuming you go into a client's home and you don't have your lighting, we're looking for the light to come in just like our softbox. If this were my big 30 by 60 softbox, we want this light to be aimed at the baby's temple. So everything we do with the baby is going to be in this angle from that window to the baby and her temple. So we're not pointing the baby's nose at the light or the baby's feet at the light, and we don't want it just shining right down the top of her head. So she's going to be posed in everything at about this angle. So that's our lighting. Number 2, when you come into a client's home, you've got to find something to pose the baby on. So I did a quick scan of our client's home, and they have this incredible ottoman or coffee table, or I don't know what it is. So this is our perfect area that we can pose the baby on. And plug your ears. So if you happen to have some bar stools available, or if you're at your client's home and they have some bar stools, something with a back tall enough from your posing table that we can drape the fabric nicely down the back. So that's kind of what we're looking for. I have used a pole draped over shorter chairs if I needed that, or books stacked up to drape it. So just find something that's taller back than your posing table. We're gonna pick up the baby. So then we've got it pretty much ready. I'm ready to drape the fabric. This is probably not the best thing to lay the baby down on. It's really hard. So I grabbed some couch cushions. I have found that most homes have couch cushions. So we've got these couch cushions just to soften the posing area. And I'm gonna drape them over this way a little bit. I want the couch cushions firm enough. I don't want a really soft couch cushion. I don't want to have to work out wrinkles on the couch cushion. And then now we're ready to drape our fabric. So this is going to be where the baby's posing. Our light is still, I'm going to push them a little more like this. Turn it a little bit. You would not think couch cushions are heavy. So the next thing we need, we've got our posing surface, we've got our light ready. We need backdrop fabric. So this lovely blanket just came from Walmart. It was $8.99 or $7.99 or something from Walmart. We're just gonna drape it over the back of the chairs or the bar stools. Making sure that we don't obviously have any wrinkles. There we go. Now, I set this up wrong on purpose. If I put the baby here, it's gonna be hitting the back side of her head. So we're going to turn the chairs, because that's easier than turning the whole ottoman. And we're just gonna rotate the baby, the fabric, this way. We just did that right on purpose. So we're gonna bring it over this way. Sometimes even the greatest photographers get their light backwards. We're gonna move the baby. I have yet to come up with a name for my fake baby. We're open for suggestions. There we go. So here's our setup, here's our fabric. That light's coming through to here. I might push a little bit more so the baby's gonna be here. I'm gonna pull these chairs away just a tiny bit to give me a little bit of side fabric. You could probably have a helper, even a sibling of the baby, help hold out the fabric. But I'm only worrying about it on the one side because we're just shooting this way, actually. So we'd have this chair. There we go. Okay, so there's our posing fabric, our backdrop fabric. Put the baby on it. Let's just see how it responds to having the baby on it and see if our table's set up right. So we've got that light maybe hitting just a little bit to the top of the baby's head. There we go, it's a little bit better. Okay. You've got your light, you've got your table, you've got your fabric. What about a wrap? I would dare say that any parent has gotten a cute little blanket from somebody as a gift for a baby shower, or just bought themselves one. So this client happens to have this cute little wrap, and we're going to use that to wrap the baby in. Now the problem we talk about in our courses is that we use a long, narrow wrap, and obviously these aren't long and narrow, so we're going to fold the top down a little bit like they do in the hospital and wrap the baby a little differently than I would at home. So, bring your hands up just like we would at home. Wrap it around one side. Tuck it into the other and do the same thing on the other side. Tuck it in down behind and tuck the fabric this way so it looks almost like it would if we were doing a wrap from a professional wrap vendor. I'll turn her head into the light a tiny bit. We'd shoot down like this. So there we go. We've got a wrap. We've got backdrop fabric. We've got perfect lighting. We've got a posing table. So I'm gonna take a shot. So our next thing that I want us to pay special attention to when you're DIYing your newborn is shooting angle. The biggest mistake that I see with every starting out newborn photographer, and I say the words every, and that's maybe an exaggeration, is they take their camera and they're photographing the baby up the nose, which is the biggest no-no. So we're gonna come grab our camera and we're gonna try this test shot. So baby's angle is just right. I'm sure mom has a headband, so she can provide you some headbands. I'm at about 1000 ISO. I'm gonna do a couple different angles, maybe get down on her level. And we've got a little bit of shadows underneath and some wrinkles, but for a DIY, really, I would be fairly pleased with that. And if you wanted to get rid of the shadows, you could bring in a whiteboard a little bit, but if we're doing DIY, I think that's pretty great. So, but that's not all. You don't want to just beanbag shots, right? What if we want to put baby in a basket? So I wandered around and tried to find things that we could do a DIY baby in a basket, get some textures. So I found this. We're going to open the curtains of this window so I don't have to move the beanbag. Move our heater. And again, we're kind of looking at our light. My floor is lightest right about here. So this was holding some old magazines. And this is just pillow batting or like quilt batting. So I just have a bunch of quilt batting or blankets, or because these layers aren't going to show. Remember, these are just to make it nice and cozy for baby. But I happen to have some pillow batting available. I'm going to get a little bit more. Then if baby piddles on it, I can just throw it away. So we're gonna kind of stack it up a little bit. I'm gonna give baby a pillow for her head on one side and a pillow for her bum on another side. So we're trying to curl her up a little bit. This is gonna be her head because again, we want, and then these rugs that we're laying out on the floor give us a little bit of texture. I might push it over a little bit so we get the two textures here. And now we just need a fabric for inside the basket. So we're just gonna, here's a cute blanket. Just grab this blanket off of the bed. It's pretty cute. And because it's a little bit bigger, we're gonna push the center part down because we want, again, the baby, a pillow for the baby's head, and curled up her little toes. I kind of like the fringe, so I might leave some fringe hanging out to the side here. Baby's head's gonna be here, so our lighting, some fringe, and then we're just gonna take the baby and place her in that. We're gonna unwrap her because I don't think this wrap matches, but if you curl the baby up enough, you don't even need them. Oops, wrapped it all. So we're gonna come here like this. Tilt her head up a little bit. And we're going to use her feet to cover and then some of the fabric to cover because obviously we don't want, I'm gonna tip her head this way so the light is coming to her temple like this, and maybe this hand can hold the foot. And there we go, we can shoot down like this. The light's coming in like this. Really nice soft lighting. We're gonna grab the camera. Hopefully we're still at the same exposure. It's getting a little darker outside, but there we go, that's very pretty. These are all items that I just found around the house. So if you're in a client's home, these are items. It's a basket with some books in it and the quilt off of the end of the bed. If it's your house and your baby, do some exploring. Try to find what you've got. We've got a layering of textures and some really pretty lighting, and that turned out really nice for a DIY newborn shot. Again, make sure we're not angled this way where we're shooting right up the baby's nose. We want to be shooting directly above the baby. Maybe I'll do an above the nose picture. You don't. Remember, if you're DIYing a newborn session, remember these 5 things. Lighting. The first thing you do when you walk into your area, your shooting space, is look at the lighting. Number 2, find a posing surface, a couch or a table or something firm enough that you don't get wrinkles in the fabric, and then something to drape the fabric over the top. Number 3 is the fabric you're shooting with, your backdrop fabric. This was at Walmart for about $8. I'm looking over here on the couch and there's a really cool textured blanket draping on that couch over there. So just fabrics you've got, blankets you've got laying around the house or the client has laying around the house. Wraps, number 4. Wraps can be blankets that mom had received as a receiving blanket, or if you had gone to the store and bought something cute for your baby to come home from the hospital, just some cute blankets. And then number 5 are baskets and layers. This basket is just an organizing basket. The fabric on the inside was draped on the end of my bed, and the textures were just rugs that I had laying around the house. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Also, subscribe to our channel and click the bell so that you receive notifications when we post new videos. Have a great day. Bye.